Hey, it's MK, and I am back with day 30. Oh my gosh, it is day 30 for Christy's 30-day sketch challenge, and I wonder where that goes. Anyways, sorry, squirrel. 30 days, you guys, and I did it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but normally I kind of peter off and I'm not able to do every single day. So I was super ecstatic that I could get this accomplished. I'm very grateful for my family for being very patient with me to do this sort of thing. I really, really wanted to basically just challenge myself to see if I could actually do something like this. I know I probably won't be able to continue to post a layout a day, but you know, it was fun. It really, really was fun. And so what am I doing today? Clearly, I'm going to do some fish photos. Clearly. Here is the sketch. And what attracted me to this sketch is these pieces going off the page and this whole grid layout. Okay, so that's what I'm going to pull from the sketch. I might not do these little triangle pieces right here because I just really struggled trying to figure out what it was I was going to do with those. But the grid photo or the grid layout is what I was kind of leaning towards when I saw all those. I got super excited. So I pulled out some more of my fishtails. You guys, honestly, I've been hoarding this. I really have. When I saw Janet Fritz actually use this at a retreat, I was like, I have to have some. I went home and I bought some, and I've used it here and there and everywhere, you know. So I've just been like really hoarding it. But today I'm going to pull it out. I brought these back. Remember, I used them on a layout. I set them off to the side and totally spaced. Never touched them, never used them. So hopefully I won't put those too far off to the side because I would like to use those. I also have the micro chipboard shapes from Fishtails. I just love this like little portal, like you're in a submarine looking out. And they have a whole entire sheet of paper like this, and I really wanted to fussy cut them out and put them all over this layout. But I think this is going to be the only one that I use. And then of course there's a few other little things on here. I did want to cut apart some of these. I want to use at least these two. I thought about using this one over here, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, we'll see. But I wanted to use the cut aparts, not the bubbles, the cut aparts. And then same with this one. I wanted to use the cut aparts. I definitely wanted to use this one because my photos, which I've already pre-cut, because that's awfully boring, my photos are of the saltwater fish in the aquarium. So I thought that that was kind of cool. Yes, I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not sure if I want to use this one, but this is what started the whole I have to have this because I thought this was the cutest image in the world. I really, really did. So again, not this side. I want to use the cut aparts. And then these are the papers that I picked. I have this 8.5 by 11 piece that I pulled from just a mat stack that I bought when I did a whole bunch of gifty treats for a retreat that I went to. Okay. And then I have this really cool ombre paper. I believe it's from Chamel. Yep, Chamel Head in the Clouds. And so I brought this piece in. I have these two pieces here from Stampin' Up! That pretty old collection. I can't remember what it was called, but it's got like mermaids and knights and dragons and things like that. So this is like a textured bubble paper. So it's already got like bubbles on it. And then this one is like fish scales or dragon scales. You guys see that? There we go. All right. And then I have the sticker sheet still from Fishtails. And then I have these two pieces. Sorry for the glare, but they are called Mercury Glass acetate pieces. Aren't those really cool? Yeah. I've just got some weird stuff in in my scrap room, you guys. But my whole idea, because we're looking at a fish tank, was I was going to use these as my background. So here is my two pieces right here. And then I'm going to lay everything on top. and then that way you have a fish tank looking thing. So will I lay everything on the mercury? I'm not really sure, just because I do need something to glue this, somehow to glue this to the page. So I don't really know. Yeah, but I thought it would be a really cool effect to have like what looked like a fish tank all the way around. Okay, and then I pulled out this extra little scrappy piece thinking that it was going to be enough to map my photos on, but it looks like I have one too many photos. Now I don't really have enough photos for a 2-page layout, but because I sort of wanted to go like and add, and add these bits to it, these are what's going to make it span across, because I didn't anticipate using these cut apart sheets. And so when I start to use the cut aparts in place of photos, then it helps me span it across a 2-page layout. I hope that makes sense, but I'm going to get started. First thing I'm going to go do is cut apart all of these to truly see which ones I actually want to use. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to decide is how much room I want of that mercury like acetate sheet to be seen. And at first I thought I wanted a whole lot of it because it's very, very pretty. Right off the bat, I decided I'm not going to gut it. I have way too much in my stash. As much as I would enjoy having this little bit left over, I decided not to gut the mercury stuff at all. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. Not a big deal. In fact, actually, I debated whether or not I was even going to glue it to white pieces of paper. But then I thought, well, where it sits, I might not have, like a solid piece of cardstock. So yeah, I am going to mat it to some white cardstock. Now I'm just seeing if I want to keep that dark blue portion of the larger scallops. So I thought, well, let me lay out my pieces first and see if I like the dark blue scallops. If not, then I'm just going to keep the first portion that I cut off. That's why I haven't cut the darker blue big scallops down to size yet, because I'm not sure if I want to keep them. Oh my gosh, did that even make any sense? I don't know. So I'm just fiddle farting with my photos just to see if I want to keep the dark blue. Well, by the time that I'm done actually like laying them all out, I like the dark blue. So I might as well just get it done and over with and chop it down. But yeah, I do a lot of fiddling, like a lot. Do I want this card? Do I have enough room for this? Do I want to incorporate it like this? Finally, I get a placement, you guys, finally. And I did decide that I wanted that dark blue. And then all of a sudden I was going to glue all of my photos down. Well, I haven't glued my big pieces down yet. I mean, I don't know what happened here. I was going to start with all the cards. I was going to glue everything down without gluing the cardstock down. So yeah, once I noticed that everything was shifting too much, I thought, nope, I'm going to glue this all to that mercury acetate piece. But first, I'm not going to make the same mistake, and I'm going to take off that protective cover, which I still have not figured out why they do that yet. I don't know. So I am just gluing it all down. I am having it meet in the center, so you won't see that square going all the way across. Excuse my head. Oh, and if you guys are curious, I am dressed like a pirate. I had bunko that day, and I went as a pirate. So that's why I am wearing like red and black stripes. Did I get a picture? No, I did not. In fact, I just now thought I should have took a picture, but I did not. So, sorry. Yeah. I do take out where I glue the acetate piece down to the white because that was just a huge failure. In fact, 2 pieces of white cardstock did not survive the recording of this film. I apologize. Just full disclosure, you guys. completely full disclosure. And I cannot tell you how much I move those photos from one side to the other to the other. So yes, I cut out me putting the acetate sheet down because I did have to rip it up. It just sucked, it like suction cupped itself to the white piece of cardstock. Can you believe that? It was terrible. I was like, what on earth? Yeah, it was like static cling happy. So I am going to be a little bit OCD here. I want my photos to be in a grid, you guys. I thought I was going to be able to eyeball it, and then I thought, no, because this piece has to be here exactly, and I want this to be, I didn't want my spaces to be like obviously noticeable. So I definitely am going to pull out the ruler quite a few times when I go to glue all of these pieces down. It's just the name of the game. I apologize. I could have cut all this out. Yes. But I kind of sort of thought that it might be important to show you how I did the grid, because what I did was I worked on the bottom portion, making sure that that was all laid out, because everything relied on something else. Like the right hand photos or the right hand pieces all relied on my very bottom left or my very bottom row photo, and they were all lined up. So I kind of went around in a circle, but not really. So basically what I did was, once I figured out my bottom piece and my right hand piece, then I had everything laid in. I did cut that very super cute image out of the red because the red just stuck out like a sore thumb, you guys. And now look how cute it is. Oh, it's adorable. I'm so sorry. That was the winner of this entire collection. Hello, my name is Kay. I bought a collection for one image. I'll be the first one to admit it. So once I figured out my placement of the bottom row and the right row, now I knew exactly where I can place everything else. But the last thing I'm going to place is that goggle image, because of the fact that it's kind of a standalone and it's not going to be like needing the ruler. It's going to just be centered in between or in amongst all of my grid. So, and I do decide to pop it up. I want some dimension on this layout, you guys. It's very, very flat. There is nothing popped up. In fact, this is kind of still really flat. So, but I am loving how it's looking. I am completely stoked. Excuse me. So now I'm going to finish the rest of the grid off. And I do kind of sort of, I wanted this picture to be on the large scallop and on the bubble paper. So I accomplished that, and it was still within spec if I want to go, if I'm happy to report that. Now this piece that I'm putting down here is not exactly the same exact sizes as my photos. My photos are a little on the larger side. And I at first measured it to see, okay, how much of that blue, that dark blue, would be showing if I did measure it and make it the exact same, and I didn't like it. So it is a little bit smaller. So basically, to off-scale that, I just centered it in between where my photo was, and you really can't tell, honestly. I really like it the way it is. Pulling out a few of those star wood veneer. Yes, I am. Picking out a couple pieces of chipboard. And I do have to say, I really wanted to go embellishment heavy on this layout. I had to stop myself. So I pull off a couple stickers. And I did find, I didn't notice this before, but I found a couple more of those portals with just fish in it. I didn't want like exotic fish. I wanted just fish, if that makes sense. There is a blowfish in that upper one, but I didn't want the turtles and I didn't want the octopi. I wanted just the fish because that's all this is about, is the aquarium tanks. And so, yeah, I was very ecstatic that there were more little portals, so I didn't have to cut into the paper. So I just have 3 of those, and I figured that is the way it's going to be. I'm using liquid adhesive to glue my wood starfish down, but because the first portal is a chipboard, I did kind of have to
angle my starfish to where the glue would hold it down, because it was too much of an angle. The glue was not sticking. So I had to make sure that it was a little bit flatter than, leaning on, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling, you guys. The other starfish glued on just fine. And now I just placed my goggles. I did find a sticker that was just seaweed, and I thought it worked perfectly well since the octopi were kind of out of the goggles. So I thought it looked pretty cool having that little bit of seaweed sticking out. I did debate about putting a bunch of enamel dots all over this layout, but I felt like they would look good on the green, but not on the scallop. So I said, okay, I'm done. The cards, honestly, the cards did all the work for me, you guys. I did not have to hardly do anything. It was all on the cut apart sheet, all on these little pocket cards. And that is that. It is done. I absolutely love it. I can't stop staring at it. I'm sorry. I'm pretty happy, even though it was mostly the grid. It really, really was. So again, thank you all for sticking with this for 30 days. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was amazing. And I cannot wait for the next one. All right, talk to you later. See ya.